I feel like the city had more of an impact, like when it comes to my music, because I was raised in Daly City and the city, but at the Mission Cultural Center, I was 8 when I started going there with my sisters and my mom, and we did like dancing, and then from there I transitioned to drumming, then piano, then so I learned like I did hella shit with music like since I was 8 in that building for 12 years. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot life lessons and the music talent came from Frisco. So I'm like, I feel like I have to represent that when it comes to what I love doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was seeing that in a previous interview you did. You were like part of Carnival. You did that, and like that's how like what shaped you to become like be more vibrant in the city, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. Especially like it was funny because when I was younger, like being in class, like I hated it. Like I hated knowing I had to go twice a week and everything. But once we performed, like I would get chills since I was little. You know what I mean? So I was like, I knew this is what I was supposed to be doing. Like,
how did you get in part of that? Was it through like family?
I don't know. My mom. I don't even know how my mom got connected to them. To be honest, I think she just wanted to enroll us in programs, like to be busy. You know what I mean? Like, and that group ended up really being like a family. You know, so.
That's dope. What's the whole thing with Daly City? That was where you grew up, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went to school in Daly City, and yeah.
Where'd you go?
To like high school?
Yeah.
I went to Jeff, Wilderness, and Thornton. So continuation school.
Oh,
I went back my senior year, second semester, and graduated at Jeff.
Oh, okay. School wasn't like really fucking with it, or?
I mean, it was. I mean, I don't feel like a lot of people are like, oh, like, you know, you graduated and it was cool. But I don't really feel like I learned shit. Like, it was so easy for me. Like, continuation school, the book work was like kid work. You know what I mean? So that's when I realized, like, damn, like, they're giving us really, like, second grade, like, books and continuation school to do. Like, it was shit like that. Like, so it was really easy to kind of cheat my way through that, you know?
Yeah.
And then at Wilderness, we didn't do book work. We didn't do math, science, English. Like, we were actually... You had to take, like, a 10-day trip, like, with everybody in the group and your teacher. No phones, no bathrooms, like, hiking, like, 8 miles a day type shit. Like, it makes you reflect so much when you're physically doing that and surviving with the people in your class, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that shit was such a life experience. I stayed there for 2 semesters, so... I feel high school was such a breeze. I didn't really learn nothing. But once I went to college, I was like, oh, shit. Like, I realized I actually got to study to do this. Like, I'm paying for this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, yeah.
So were you doing music in high school?
No, I wasn't. I mean, like, I wrote, like... Oh, shit. My bad. I wrote when I was in high school, but it was more diss songs. I didn't really take it serious. It was like, when I was mad, I would write shit, you know? And then... yeah, like I didn't really tell people about it because I felt like everybody was so into like bae shit, you know what I mean? I was like, I'll keep this to myself. Like I was scared of people like telling me, telling me like, oh, it's not good. Like, so I was like, whatever.
But like dissing songs, like you was
like talking shit about people.
Oh yeah,
like
shit.
It was therapeutic. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know, just writing lyrics and everything. You know?
How'd you overcome that?
I went to LA when coronavirus started, and
Corona.
My sister, I stayed with her in Pomona, and it was so different. Like I just had to go out there because it was like there was a lot of shit going on over here, and when I went over there, I didn't know anybody, like really just her. So when she was busy with her kids and stuff, I didn't have nothing to do, you know, like I would just get weed and I'm like, oh, I'm bored. So I started listening to beats again, you know, and I started writing. And then I feel like, you guys know, like when you have alone time, you find what it is you really like doing. I feel like everybody has to take that time being alone to like really reflect about your life and what it is like you find interesting or what you could create or, you know. So I feel like when I took that time to the neck, like, and I started writing and I was being vulnerable, I realized, like, this shit is really therapeutic, you know? And I'm saying some stuff I can't even talk to people about. Like, I showed my sister and she just looked at me like, dude, you got to keep going. Like, you could actually do something with this. And I, like, everybody I came around for the first year of me doing music when I would just record in my car with 2 phones, like, everybody I feel like saw something in me that I still didn't see in myself. I was just like, I just love what I do. Like, what are y'all talking about? You know what I mean? And I feel like organically, like just gravitated towards all the right connections, all the right people I've met and still gonna meet. You know what I mean? So I feel like everything is just like supposed to be how it is. So
I mean, yeah, no, I definitely fuck with the whole like the car vibe. Like we were seeing the what is it?
The Frisco Fridays.
Frisco Fridays.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
You've been consistent with that every Friday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's like that. What, been doing it over a year.
Yeah, I just hit 61. That's just crazy.
That is crazy. What inspired that?
It was organic. I literally didn't think nothing of it. I didn't even know I was gonna keep going. I was like, what's something that like stands out? Something like a little different, you know? Because I feel like everybody has to have their own little style when it comes to what you're doing. If you're creating something, there has to be something unique about it. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like shout out Grando, like he's the snack sensei too. You know what I mean? So when people see him, like he does music, they're like, oh shit, like he be eating snacks too. You know what I mean? Like, so it's that type of stuff. Like, it just happened. Like, it was just a Friday, and then after...
It's just part of your DNA, your identity.
Yeah, and
I see what you mean.
I just started, like, I feel being disciplined about it. Like, I have to, like, even though there's weeks where I feel so drained, like, energetically, or I feel like life's kicking my ass, and I'm like, I can't do this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I've cried at the studio on Fridays, like, I'm not doing it today. Like, and my manager is like, no, like, you have to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got people. And it's crazy when I see the DMs I get from people telling me like my music is helping them get through something or they could relate. I'm like, damn, like then I remember why I'm doing this. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing that could match that feeling of inspiring somebody else or helping somebody heal. Like, you know? So I feel like now I'm seeing I really got people that are listening to my music. Like
gravitating into it, being motivated.
So I feel like I just want to inspire hella. So I feel like I can't like give up on that. You know what I mean?
Is that your goal with music, like to inspire?
Yeah, hell yeah, like inspire people to just find themselves and do what they love and not give a fuck about what anybody got to say. You know what I mean? Life's literally too short to be doubting yourself because of people who doubt themselves. You know what I mean? That are around you. That energy shit is real. Like that's just big to me. I feel like people hold back a lot because of society, like or. You know what I mean? Like, I went to school, I got my degree. I didn't get my bachelor's, but I told my parents, like, I got my degree. Like, I don't want to do this. I want to do music. You know what I mean? Like, even though people think, like, there's a certain way you have to live life, like, nah, fuck that. Like, you know what I mean?
Were they supportive in the beginning?
My parents?
Yeah.
They knew, but they were more big on, like, go to school. You know, you should still go to school. Like, just have a plan B, and then... I did it and I was like, dude, like my plan B is to make plan A work. You know what I mean? Like I love music over everything. Like I told them I wanted to be a lawyer.
Oh, word.
So I was like, I feel like I just always wanted to help people. But I told them I know like it'd be so different compared to like if I make a song that blows up and can help hella people, you know what I mean? Or dropping tapes that'll like help people reflect and find themselves, like that shit would mean the world, you know what I mean? Like that's universal, like not just like a case at a time type shit, you know what I mean? And literally from there, like, I cried to them, like, and had that talk, and then it was crazy, like, my mom gave me $500 that night and told me, like, just invest this in the music, you know, and I was like, what the fuck? Cool. Like, I was shook. I was like, damn, they're fucking with it, like, you know, dope. So, that's dope. Yeah, ever since that, they've been really supportive, like, and they know I don't really see an end goal with it. I'm just trying to enjoy the journey, like, you know what I mean? We really never know when we're gonna die, but I think, like, every day that I do something with music, I'll be content, like, however it happens, as long as I know I left doing what I love doing, you know what I mean? And leaving that message, like...
I mean, that's really part of, like, life, right? Like, we only have one life. We have about, like, 80, 90 years of, you know, of expected of, like, what we're thinking, right? So we got to make the most out of it. And a lot of people... You know, like for instance, me, like my parents told me to go to school. Like I got my bachelor's degree. Mm-hmm. I have a 9-to-5, but I also have the clothing brand and doing the podcast and doing other shit, right? Like, you got to find your passion and then use your 9-to-5 to fund your passion.
Exactly.
Or if you don't have a 9-to-5, just like find some way to fund your hustle.
Exactly.
Because like I feel like it's hard being an artist with like no plan. Like you have to have a plan, right?
That's true.
What do you see yourself doing like in the industry to like stand out? Like do you see yourself working with bigger artists, or like the way you're doing it, you think like it's an organic approach that...
I think it's gonna be organic, to be honest. I do manifest a lot that I'm gonna be working with bigger artists, but I wouldn't say like I don't want to get signed to anybody. Like I feel like if I just stay independent and keep doing what I have been doing, like just seeing the growth in the last year and a half, it's been like holy shit. Like I'm seeing results way like quicker, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's working, like, so might as well just keep going. But I definitely don't want to take like any deals or nothing, but I'm open to a lot of opportunities too, so
yeah, no, for sure. What I mean, I was looking at your YouTube. I like the False Prophet. That was dope. What made you want to come up with that song?
So at the studio, I wanted to learn how to engineer. I was just so inspired by everybody there, like Jay or Youngin, Will. Like, it was so dope to me to know, like, you guys literally, like, live at the studio, make money at the studio, make your own music. Like, that shit was so, like, fuck the restaurant life. Like, I want to do that, you know what I mean? And I told the owner, I told Will, I was like, hey, like, is there any way, like, I could kind of sit in sessions and, like, watch people, like, you know what I mean, so I could learn. And I took notes for, like, 3 days and then just started pulling up to sessions and watching and just, I'm a visual learner, you know, so once I did that, like, at the nighttime, like, when nobody would really have sessions or nothing, I would be there, you know what I mean, like, trying to engineer myself, trying to learn how to, like, literally lab rat, like, every day, like, trying to get better and better. And then I recorded False Prophet, and that's when I was like, wow, I recorded this shit, like, you know. And I took it to Will, and he told me, like, you're ready to engineer, dude, like. And that shit was just crazy. That song means so much to me for that. Like, the first song I completely recorded by myself, he mastered it, like.
And you write your own songs and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How long was that process
of learning how to engineer
or doing the song?
I started learning how to engineer last March, and I want to say I did the song like in June. I think, like, I recorded the song in June, got it mastered, like...
So a couple months?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Damn, that's pretty quick.
Yeah. And then you just dropped your latest song, like, a month ago?
Born to Be, yeah.
Born to Be?
Mm-hmm.
I like that song. It's more like more of a significance about it, right? Yeah. I feel like it was a personal thing, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about your idea about that? My bad, there's a fucking tornado.
Oh, no. It's good.
Yeah, fucking tornado.
But, Born to Be was just, I don't know, I heard that beat and I love soulful vibes. Like, anytime I hear something, I tell people I'm not picky. Like, I'm so versatile. Like, as long as I'm vibing with whatever it is and I feel a good frequency, like, I'm gonna jump on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was just, literally, I had got off, like, a graveyard shift and I heard it, and then I just started, like, humming that melody, like, the born to be something bigger. Like, and I started thinking, I'm like, bro, like, I was born to be something bigger. I was born to, like, you know what I mean? And I feel like manifesting that and speaking that into existence, you start to believe it. Like, that's why I love listening to that song, because I remind myself, like, I wasn't born to settle for nothing little, you know what I mean? And I feel like not just myself, but if people listen to it, they're saying it to themselves as well, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just feel like that energy is just gonna...
No, I agree with you. I mean, you, like, I'm a big believer in writing down your goals and then, like, taking, like, the steps to do it, because people, like, have dreams, but dreams and goals are two different things, you feel me?
True.
And then if you don't execute on, like, the steps to get to your goals, like, you're just, like, stuck in your head.
Exactly.
You know? So, like, it's just, like, you gotta find what you really want, and then, like, try to find steps, baby steps, because everybody just wants that, like, quick life, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a star, and then woody whoop, like, make it.
And I feel like that's when it's people I feel like think like that don't end up doing it long term. You know what I mean? I feel like going back to really just enjoying the journey, every opportunity. Like, hell yeah, I'm sure all of us artists would love to wake up one day and see, like, a song hit like 3 million, like, you know what I mean, or something, like, but it's like you wouldn't want that overnight, like, without doing the shows where there was, like, not a lot of people that you actually got to interact and network with, to, like, going up and up and up to, like, bigger shows, bigger places, bigger venues, like, you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that, it all means a lot when you look back, you know? Like, now I'm like, even though I've been performing for, like, almost a year and a half now, I look like, damn, like, just in a year and a half, I see the difference in my stage presence. I see the difference in the confidence. I see a difference, like, when I'm like, y'all gonna fucking hear me, like, when I'm up here, you know what I mean? Like, I could, like, and just watching that growth and enjoying it, like, and knowing, like, it's only gonna get better, everything's gonna get better, like, and it's just, like, it's just having fun with it, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be too hard on yourself about it.
I'm just thinking in my head, like, the joy you must have, like, just doing your thing that you love, right? Yeah. Because, like, again, a lot of people don't even know what they want to do in life, and they're just stuck in their head. Yeah. So, like, you once you find it, like, you know, you feel like you're just gonna fly like a bird. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I feel like it is different for everybody, like, definitely different timing for everybody, but there's nothing wrong with that, you know? But I feel like it also comes from a lot of the people you surround yourself with. Like, if you're around I heard this saying that's like you're a reflection of the 5 people you're around the most. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And I would like think about it like when people are like, oh, you could rap and this, and that. If you put me in a room with 5 people that can't rap, of course, like I'd probably feel like, oh, like I'm the shit. Y'all can't rap. You put me in a room with 5 huge ass artists. You feel me? I'd be like, damn, I don't know shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm still getting started. So I feel like
100%.
my thing when it comes to what I do, I try to surround myself with people that are doing way better than me, that have experienced stuff, so I could learn from them, you know what I mean? And they put me on game too, like, you know, and then from there, I be helping people that don't know shit, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's super big on, like, knowing who you're surrounding yourself with. Like, that's so important, like, yeah.
Yeah, what I seen that you, in another interview, that you said you got your inspiration, or you like to look at, your motivation, or kind of like the way of like your flow is from like Tech Nine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What,
I have his label logo tatted.
Oh yeah. How did you get introduced to like that kind of like music?
So I was, I think I was like 17, and I would listen to like a lot of Bay Area music, you know what I mean? A lot of like Andre Nicotina, RBL, like Bone Thugs, like, and it was all cool to me, you know, but then one of my old friends I worked with, he was all like, oh, like, have you ever heard of Tech Nine? I'm like, Tech Nine? I'm like, who's that? Like, you know, and I started listening to him. I'm like, who the fuck? Like, I never heard somebody flow like him. Like, it was so crazy to me. I'm like, damn, I thought, like, anybody could rap. But when I heard him, like, he could rap about a pencil in, like, 2 minutes and make that shit sound so dope. You know what I mean? Like, and once I started listening to him, like, it just hella made me detach from thinking the Bay Area was its own box in music, you know what I mean? I was like, dude, like, there's so much, like, shit you could do out here that's universal, you know? Like, he's collabed with people from, like, Turkey. Like, that's crazy. Like, like, I don't even know what dude's saying, but I'll listen to it, and I'm like, this shit slap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just wild to me. So I feel like from him, like, I definitely picked up, like, being comfortable, being versatile, being comfortable and being open to new ideas, and doing something that everybody else isn't doing, you know what I mean? Because I feel a lot of people now, like, definitely shoot for the same image, shoot for the same kind of sound, like, and I feel like when it comes to hip-hop, like, if you really are, like, about this shit, you would know, like, you need to make a dent in there and throw your creativity and change it up a bit, you know what I mean? Instead of doing what everybody else is doing, like.
Yeah, what kind of image do you think everybody's trying to pursue in the Bay Area?
I feel like
look, it could be controversial because everybody wants to be on the narrative, you know. Mm-hmm. But speak your mind, you know.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I hear a lot, especially like a lot of young people, like drugs, money, like, you know what I mean, like females, like shit like that, and I feel like it's a part of it, because when I really started, like, I was doing little shit like that too, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it took me a little time to find myself, and I get it. I don't give up on people, you know what I mean? If it works for you, it works for you, but it's just not what I would want to be around, what I want to pursue, or the image I want to have, you know what I mean? When people look at Frisco Baby, I don't want them to think like, oh yeah, like, she be doing these drugs and she be having hella money and not. Like, I'll be real, like, I could actually sit through my music and say, like, yeah, I'm broke doing this shit, you know what I mean? But I love it, you know what I mean? I don't gotta put up a front, and I feel like that's what a lot of people do. They front, like, a lot in the Bay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
rap cap.
Yeah, a lot of rap cap, or a lot of like flake flexing. I mean, that's part of it, right? Like, a lot of people have the mentality of like, make it, fake it until you make it. Yeah. That's a lot of bad thing, but we're talking about the Ramadan, right? Like how we were saying, like, we were just like curious on like the whole experience with being part of like a Muslim as a religion. Yeah. And how did that come about?
My friend, he was Palestinian, and we would just sit in the car, like, and he would tell me things about Islam, and then like show me these videos. So when I was on my free time and I started studying about it, I was like, damn, like, even though I was Catholic, and nothing I had ever learned made me believe more in God than Islam, you know what I mean? And Islam translates to peace, you know? So once I converted and everything to being Muslim, like, and I did my first Ramadan, like, I really understood, like, damn, like, it's a spiritual cleanse, you know what I mean? It's a spiritual cleanse that gets you closer to God, and it, like, no, you're good, like, it just hella changed my perspective about a lot of things. And like, I was just speaking to somebody about this. I'm not closed-minded when it comes to like other religions or any beliefs. I feel like whatever works for you, like it works, you know what I mean? But I feel like the same when I do my prayers and stuff, I feel like I'm just in this mode where I don't think about anything else. I'm pretty sure it's the same with meditation. I'm pretty sure it's the same with Christian prayers. You don't think about nothing but what it is and just kind of letting everything go and accepting it for what it is those few minutes, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, like, and I don't know, for me, like, it just kind of, like I said, like, to each his own, but I feel like it's similar in a way spiritually, you know what I mean? But it definitely balances me out. It helps me find my peace. It works for me. So I feel like I'm just grateful for that, you know? And definitely got to put on for Muslims too. Like, I feel like it blows a lot of people's mind because they're like, oh, you're Latina and you're Muslim.
Yeah, I don't know any. I really don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just thinking, Ramadan, you don't eat throughout the whole day, right?
Just from sunrise to sunset.
Oh, damn. So that's like 14 hours?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like, what time do you eat? Like right now, like is it like 4:30 a.m. or 5 a.m. kind of?
No,
thing,
like
or?
7:30 at night, and then like your breakfast is right before the first prayer. So, and the first prayer is like around 5:30 ish. You know what I mean?
AM.
So probably like around like wake up like around 4:45. Like make my food, breakfast, whatever.
Yeah.
Gotta hydrate a lot with water too.
Yeah, you can't drink water at all, right?
Yeah. And I feel like too, like a lot of people were used to overindulging in food. You know what I mean? Like we really
especially
are.
in America.
Yeah, like, but I feel like it's doable. Like once I do Ramadan, I'm like, damn, like I really do not need like that much food like a day. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like being grateful, like I'm good. Like
I don't know. I'll be eating. So
but
that takes another discipline.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's a mental kind of discipline too, right? Because like I can imagine if you're starting out, like you're starving yourself basically, right? But
it's a whole month.
Yeah.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm trying to say is like it's more of like a dedication, right?
Yeah.
What's the prayers that like? Is it more of like what I heard is like you have to pray 4 times, right? Five times, I guess. And you have to like pray in like some kind of like you have
like
to
a
bow,
prayer mat,
right?
yeah, a prayer mat, yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
Like a prayer mat that you put on the floor, like.
Yeah, he's atheist, so. Nah, I'm kidding.
Damn.
He's all like, "Don't put me on blast."
Nah, I'm kidding.
But yeah, it's a prayer mat. Like, I have mine at home. It's really nice. My old manager gave it to me. Shout out to him too.
Oh, that's dope.
But yeah, like it's just your 5 prayers a day. But like I said, like sometimes it's easy to kind of throughout the day to start slipping into the mindset, like where I start to think like I want a cigarette, I want to smoke weed, I want to drink, I want to do something. But then as soon as I do my prayer, I feel like it reminds me like you're good, like just keep going, just a few more hours. You feel me? Like, and then I don't know why it's so easier for me to give everything up during Ramadan. I believe it's just because.
But after Ramadan, you can smoke.
I mean, yeah, like I shouldn't, but I probably will.
Okay.
I'm being real with myself. I most likely will smoke after, but
yeah. So I'm curious about like out of body experiences with music. I feel like a lot of artists have the similar connections of like they make a banger or they make some kind of song that connects with them. Have you ever had that kind of experience in the studio or like performing or just like
one song that stuck to you?
like
yeah.
that sticks to me?
Yeah, or something like that had that out-of-body experience.
I feel like that's everything I do in music. To be honest, I get the same feeling every time I do something, every time I make something new, every time I perform. Like, and people ask me, like, how do you not get anxious? I'm like, I do, you know, but it's once you're up there and you conquer that fear, like it feels great, you know what I mean? But every time, like, I make a new song, I get like a rush. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I could just like I get so excited. It's just like, yeah, I'm like, what's next? You know what I mean? Like every time, yeah.
You ever get nervous when you're like performing it somewhere and like you're like, I don't want to fuck up or anything?
No, because I feel like I've just understood it's normal. It's normal to fuck up. It's okay if you do. You know what I mean? I think like 2 years ago. Yeah, I think it was during COVID. Tech Nine did a show, and you know how people were watching shows on their phones, like, because they weren't having, like, people pull up.
Yeah.
So I got a high speed, I had a blunt, and I was chilling in my car watching the show, you know, like, by myself, like, and that shit was hella dope. But, like, I realized, like, he's been doing music for hella long, since, like, the late 90s, you know, and he went up there talking about, I want to do this song for y'all, like, and he starts laughing, like, hopefully I don't fuck up. To me, I'm like, that's the most humble shit, like, you've been doing music for like over like 30 years and you're still up there admitting like there's a chance I could fuck up. No one's perfect, you know what I mean? So I feel like there's been times where I've been up and I'll like forget a word or something. I fuck it, like just play it off and start geeking or something, you know what I mean? And then go back into it. Like, but it's completely normal. I feel like that definitely doesn't like bring me fear no more. And I was reading this book too that was talking about how fear is really just like a belief, and we start to believe it once we've been told something or we've experienced something that we project into now. You know what I mean? Like, I used to be told like, oh, this music stuff isn't gonna work, this music stuff is too hard, it's hard to get in the industry, it's hard for people to listen, like there's so many rappers, like, and it's crazy because in the beginning it did make me think like, okay, like there is a lot of, like, you know what I mean? But then I started again, like, just not like, if it's for me, it's for me. Like, I love what I do no matter what. It's not even the thought of if it works and I blow up. I know at the end of the day I love what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I love what I'm creating. I'm not gonna stop no matter what. So yeah, I
mean, thinking about it, like, look, if you don't do it, somebody else is gonna do it. Mm-hmm. And so what if there's a bunch of rappers? Like, you're gonna find a way to stand out. And like, that's for everything. Like, say for a cell phone company, there's Apple, there's Samsung, there's you know, so there's always gonna be competition. Like, that's part about being great. You gotta compete. So what do you say the future of the Bay Area rap? Like, you think you have high hopes? You're optimistic for the Bay Area, where it's going?
I am, for sure. There are a lot of dope artists that are coming up too, you know what I mean? And it's dope to hear. Like, I think it's gonna be, I feel like people are being a little more like open to stepping outside of the Bay Area box out here, you know what I mean? Instead of just doing like Bay Area, like, you know what I mean, beats and stuff. You know, I feel like people are being more open to like doing more Spanish stuff, you know what I mean, that are rapping or hopping on that. Like, and I don't know, I feel like I do have hope that things are gonna look up.
I mean, I do see you have your Spanish verses, right? I see that. That's dope. So you're trying to like integrate that with like rap and
I
hip-hop?
just want to, I definitely want to push Nicaragua for sure, you know. I met this dude, Javi Dade, in Miami, and this producer, Da Vinci, shout out to them. But I was talking to him, you know, and he's like, dude, like, you could rap, you know? He was just like, you should, like try spreading, like, your culture, you know what I mean? Like, or shouting that out, like, you know? And I was like, yeah, like, and then I started talking to my mom about it, and it's crazy because I've sent, like, my Spanish songs to like my family members and stuff in Nicaragua, and they love it. Like, they're like, dude, there is no female that's really doing this type of shit, pushing this country, like, or the, you know what I mean, these kind of topics and stuff. So I feel like that means so much to me. Like, again, like, if I'm all the way over here and my songs start like inspiring people in Central America, you know what I mean, that'd be crazy as fuck to me. But it's like, I believe it could happen, you know what I mean? So I feel like I want to be that voice for people, like, and I feel like it's going to be more than just Cali, it's going to be more than just the U.S. Like, I feel like my sound is for sure going to be, like, very universal.
I mean, you got to think global, right? Imagine you blow up in Nicaragua and, like, they discover you first from, like, out there than here. That'd be some crazy shit.
It sounds like you have, like, a good support system. So for
Most
artists
definitely.
that don't have that support system, what do you, like, advise for them?
Just keep doing it, you know what I mean? It's gonna be hard because that's how it was for me in the beginning. Like, I knew people that didn't really connect me to where I needed to be. Like, they didn't connect me to studios, they didn't connect me with producers, they didn't connect me with other artists, like, you know. And not that I expected anything from them, you know, but I had to push myself. At the end of the day, I had to push myself. I had to spend that time alone and like, okay, like, fuck whatever anybody else is doing. I'm gonna just do it because I enjoy it, because I love it. You know what I mean? And I feel like it is hard, but I feel like, again, you have to gravitate towards people that are gonna support you, like, energetically too, not just tell you, oh, it's good, and then not give a fuck when you're trying to share or talk about what your dream is. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's so important. Like, especially when you're starting to have a vision, you don't want anybody to block that for you or, you know, talk down on it, because it's very easy for people to spread negative energy.
It's easier to do that than trying to help somebody out. So where can people find out where your music is and where you're on, like, socials and all that? So
my Instagram, all my socials are _Frisco Baby. I have False Prophet out. I'm about to drop Born to Be on all platforms because the music video's out. I'm going to drop a surprise song on 415 with Surge 2 times from FNG. And then I'm dropping a project on April 30th at the end of this month. And then there's gonna be a lot of shit rolling out now, because I've been there's a lot of stuff coming. I just feel like I kind of owe it to everybody that's been coming and showing love and supporting, that's been telling me for like a year now, like, where can we find this, you know? And I'm like, oh, just look on my Frisco Baby Fridays, you know, like, it's cool. But I'm like, I think it's time to really start dropping shit people could actually listen to and not have to go on my Instagram to like find a verse and a hook, you know what I mean? Like, it's actual songs, and I believe great projects that are about to be dropping. So
hell yeah. Well, can't wait, and go follow Frisco Baby on Instagram. I appreciate y'all.